Hello, friends. Welcome to Lunch with Laura. I'm delighted you're here today, and I hope that I will teach you something fun. I'm using a stamp set that I've used before, and it is called Eden's Garden, and it has stamps as well as sentiments and greetings, and there you go, you can see that better. This can be used to create elaborate cards. I did a beautiful Christmas card with the designer series paper that I can't show you because I used every bit of it. And I used the wreaths that are in the die set. I'm having a reveal tonight in Baton Rouge at the local La Madeleine's on Jefferson Highway. If any of you are in my area and would like to join me, I would love to share with you what's coming out in the latest catalog. It's also celebration time, and with celebration, every time you spend $50, you can get something free out of this catalog. And it's really got some cute things. This one's called Island Vibes, and for $50 you can get that one when you spend that much in the catalog. And it can be in any of our current catalogs. Now, this daffodil paper, let me show you how pretty that is. Let's see, there we go. It's also another one that you can get when you spend $50, and it coordinates with the Daffodil Daydream set that's in the new mini catalog. Catching Butterflies is another real cute little set. And then they have the Driving By, which this is my era. I'm showing my age. The VW Bug, the bus, and then the little convertible with the balloons coming out. And that one's called Driving By. And then you get over into one that also coordinates with the stamp set called Rainbow of Happiness. And this is Sunshine and Rainbow DSP. It's cut 6x6, where most of our paper is 12x12. So this one makes really cute cards. And I haven't gotten this set yet, but a friend was sending me a couple of samples to use tonight. So I hope the mail gets here in time. Here's another designer series paper that's also 6x6. And it doesn't have a set that directly correlates to it, but I've seen some precious cards with this awesome otter set. And you can see how they have used the paper there. The last few things in the catalog are things that you can get when you spend $100. Now, if you buy $100 worth of products, you can pick two of these in the front that are $50, or you can get one celebration item, which this one is a bundle. It includes the stamp set Friendly Hello and the DSP that goes and coordinates with that. If you spend $150, you can get one of these and one of the $50 items, or three of the $50. So I think you're getting how it goes. Now, this is a great set that I was real excited to get, called Special Moments. And you can see I have it because it was one of the ones when you spend $100 you get. And then there is a precious host set. This Calming Camellia is not available except to hostesses, or host, I should say. And when you let me know that you're ready to introduce this to your friends, anything that they buy goes towards your host rewards, and you also get the stamp set for free. Okay, now let's get on. This is going to be a quick card today. Since I told you I have my reveal coming up, I'm just about ready. So I wanted to go over that one last, excuse me, one last time before I put everything in the car. So what I wanted to show you today was that you could make a very simple, fast card with this stamp set. You could use this on other stamp sets, and I'm going to show you how I created it. There are very few supplies that you're going to need. This is our very vanilla paper, and I've cut it in half, so it's 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at 4 1/4. And then for the layer that's going to go on top, if you can see that, I've left 1/4 inch around. So this is 3 3/4 by 5. So I've left a 1/2 inch on both sides. Okay. Let me get out my stamps. And let's see. I think I'm still going to do sending hugs. I just like that. I think everybody needs a hug now and then. And with COVID, we're not allowed to hug, which is just killing me. But anyway, we'll send it in a card. And I'm using Evening Evergreen. This is one of the in colors that was new this year. So it'll be available next year also. And when you go to open our stamp pads, it's like opening a compact, and you slide it back. So I got a acrylic block that's works with this size stamp, and I'm going to put the berries up at the top. So let me show you how this looks. You want to make sure that you've inked up your stamp real well, and I'm going to put it in the lower right hand corner, and I'm just going to press down and lift up. Okay, now what we're going to do, I'm also going to go ahead and stamp the sending hugs. Oops. Now see how I got a little halo around there? You want to be careful when you stamp that you don't rock. And I'm going to clear that off right quick. Okay. So if you get that around, the best thing to do is to clean your stamp. And then when you do stamp, be sure not to rock it. Just go straight down and straight up. Okay. That came out great. Now I'm going to take my stamp blending sponge. These come 3 to a pack for $12. They're in the current big catalog, the annual catalog. And I'm going to use Soft Succulent. Now this was another one of the 5 in colors that was introduced along with Evening Evergreen this year. And both of these greens are just totally awesome. Okay, I'm going to take my blending sponge and I'm going to go around, and then I'm going to tap it on the table. And you just keep adding ink to it until you get it where you want. I just kind of wanted this to look like a little shadow around. Okay. Now, I'm going to use, you could use any pink or red. These are little berries, and these little dots I kind of accented. And I'm going to use, I think I told you this last week, when you get a set of these pins, the blends. There is a light and a dark. And there are two ends. Would be the thin end, and this would make a broader stroke. So I'm going to use the smaller one. And I'm just going to kind of go over the little dots that are there. And then just kind of color in. It's over the green, so it's not going to have a real pink. Like I said, you could use just about any color you wanted. Now, this one came out darker, and I'm not sure why. Maybe I had a mat that we have a stamping mat that someone borrowed. Oh yes, here it is. It's right here. And this cushions and makes your stamping darker, or it helps get, especially the large stamps. We're going to do it again and see what happens. Let's see. Here was an extra, very vanilla. Let's see if it comes out darker. This will be an experiment. So I'm just going to ink it up real well. But you see how it's not a solid stamp, so you're going to get some color variation there. But let's see if, and I'm pressing down and coming straight up. No, it's still light, so I don't know what I did to that one. Both of them are pretty, and I'm going to use them both. Okay. Now, all we need to do on this is to, let's see, adhere it to the front of the card. So, let's fold this. And I have my bone folder right here. That's good to give a nice clean edge. And I'm going to turn it sideways since this is a landscape card. And I'm going to put, now, I wanted you to see too, and I used the blends last week, and I want you to be aware that they do bleed through. It did not get on my paper here, but it did get on your card there. So if you are going to do blends on your card base, I would suggest putting a layer on the inside so that it doesn't show, okay? Or do what I'm doing and put the layer on top. And, okay. Now this actually happens to be our Stampin' Seal Plus. This is a little bit stronger than the regular Stampin' Seal. You can use this on boxes and things that have tension on it. And I guess I packed up the one I'm taking tonight, so we'll use that. And all I'm going to do is put that down. Now, before I add the rhinestones here, I'll show you what. Always remember that you need to put your hallmark on there, whatever it can be. If you don't have a personalized stamp, you can have one made, or I've seen a lot of people just use a cute little image. I could have stamped a leaf and then put my initials or whatever. So that's just a suggestion there. Now on the inside, I wanted to use one of these other sentiments. This one, Sending Hugs, I'm going to use the one that says, "My heart is tied to yours. Tug if you need anything." I think that goes real well with that. So let me get a... Okay. There we go. And again, I'm going to use the darker of the two inks. And I use what I call a centering mat. I came up with this all by myself. I'm sure somebody out there has already discovered it. But anyway, I took a piece of our grid paper and I made a center cross mark and then an outline so that if you're doing landscape cards, you could get, it's just to kind of give you a reference point to center your sentiments. And then I also did it for the portrait. So I'm going to set that right in my little box. Ink up my stamp. And I'm going to test it since I hadn't used this one before. Okay, so here is my center line, and here is the center. So I'm going to go right up there. Okay, came out great. And it's almost perfect. Now, the other thing I wanted to do, I keep closing this before I'm finished, is these little leaves are so cute. And I thought that maybe I would just use some of those on, here we go. And I'm going to use the block on both sides for this. And I'm going to move my mat. And I'm going to put a couple, one right there. And one going this way. I might need to re-ink my ink pad. And let's see. I think that'll do. Then you can add just a little bit of the pink or red if you want with those little dots. And I've made a promise that this year I'm going to show y'all the insides of my cards as well as the envelopes. So that's saying no naked envelopes and no naked insides. Oh no, look, I got a smear on there. Well, we're just going to pretend like that's not there. And maybe we can use one of our embellishments. This also comes with the Eden's Garden. And I used the ones, they're iridescent and they're really cool. These are almost have a reddish tinge to them. I don't know if you can catch that in the video. And then these are green and they're oblong. They almost look like a diamond, and I can't think the cut that you use, but I'm going to fix that little mistake I made right there, and I'm going to put a couple of the iridescent stones around, and then maybe I'll add one more of these. These are gorgeous. They could go in a ring. That'd be a beautiful engagement ring. Huh. For some cheap guy to give. Okay. Now, so there's our card. Sending hugs. And we've got my heart is tied to yours. Tug if you need anything. The last thing we're going to take care of is the envelope, which is right here. And I think, again, I'm going to use the larger of the little stamp and just stamp on the envelope and on the back. Now I can close my ink pad. Okay, so here you have the card for today using Eden's Garden, the beautiful garden gems, and our two stamp pads that are part of our in colors for this year, Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent. And now I've got to go finish getting ready for tonight. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to share all the wonderful things that are in the new catalog. And I may do a little catalog walk through coming up maybe next week or sometime when I have a little bit. And I'll share that with you too. But until I see you again next Thursday, take care. God bless you, and I love you. Come back and see me.